My name is Barbara Novelli in Second Life and in many other worlds. In real life, it's Barbara McQueen. And my background is that for over 30 years in real life, I have been teaching English as a second language in 5 different countries. And I've been doing the same thing for 6 years in virtual worlds in 5 or more virtual worlds, including Second Life, Kitely, Edmundo, Craft Worlds, and many other subdivisions of OpenSim. And I really like the possibilities of going to OpenSim because it's less expensive than Second Life. And I'll show you what I can do for $34 a month when I take you to my world later on. I want to compliment the other presenters, what they've done so far. I think people have a good idea of different things you can do for games. We started with board games and then added things like sound and objects that can be clicked on. And what I would like to explore today is taking that to a different level, bringing it more to the 3D level, in a way that takes advantage of the different types of opportunities that are available in this medium. For example, Randall's scavenger hunts were right along the same thinking as what I'm thinking. And so to illustrate my point, we're going to walk over to this presenter I put on the ground, and we're going to look at a flat game, a 2D game. And then we're going to look at the same game in a 3D version. So let's walk over here. You see, as I'm hopefully not going to knock anybody, but I've made a presenter. Let's go on to the far side of it. Try not to step on it right now. I think I have it locked, but sometimes what we think and sometimes what is aren't the same. All right, so there's a problem with leaving your games out. Sometimes the problem is it uses up too much prims, leaving things. You just want a board. You don't want to have to keep looking in your inventory for things. So I made this presenter, a slideshow presenter, which I've lied on its back, that has a lot of games that I regularly use inside it. And when I'm not using it, my first screen is a picture of the sandbox so that it blends in a little bit better. So you're looking at the first slide. And now I'm going to click on the next one. Here's an example of a type of flat board game. When you first get students in Second Life or any virtual world, they may have difficulty navigating. And so you can teach them to navigate and use controls and through an activity where they have to follow a maze. Or not a maze, it's a course. So these are 5 courses. The first course is closest to you. It looks like just a circle. So the avatars would walk on that circle. Can somebody go and walk around the circle on the board? For example, is Nuno here? Nuno, you're right next to it. Go to the circle and walk around it. Stay on it. Okay. Which is okay to do with a circle. You can see that some of the other designs get more complicated, and it's actually, to make them thick enough, I would have to enlarge the board a lot. But here's where I think 3D has an advantage. I'm going to show you the same thing, but in a 3D version. So I'm going to put the 3D version in the sandbox. And I'm going to ask you all to try to walk around on it. And tell me which that you think is more immersive, playing it as a flat board game or actually walking on the obstacle course. Okay, here we go. There it is. Ooh, it's the exact same thing that was pictured on the board. So walk to the center and you'll see that each of them is numbered. If you think you're too cool for number 1, start on number 2 or number 3. There are 5 levels. I think with most of you
this
being...
is massive. It's massive.
I'd say start with 3 or higher because you should all have these skills so far. And if you've played video games as you were growing up, which is certainly not the case with me, some of you can do this no problem. You can almost run around on these things. But for a lot of people, they continually fall off.
Yep.
Yeah, I just saw somebody fall. And so you can teach language related to this. Oh, you fell. I'm sorry. Try again. Where did
Barbara,
you fall?
can you lower the whole architecture a little bit because it's too high up the ground?
Oh, is it? Let's see. It's not linked is the problem. That I can grab each one individually and do it.
Yeah, but what's the difference
between this and the first game?
No, between, you know, lowering the game or living it like that, because
yeah, I think the reason why it did not set on the ground is because there are other things on the ground, and so it hit an obstacle and it stopped lowering. So you just have to fly up, I guess, to the top of a platform and then do it. I can see that it hit the pyramid, and that's probably stopped its descent. Okay, so this is something that you can do with the students, and I don't know about you, but why don't you tell me, which do you think students would enjoy more? The board game that we play?
I think they like the 3D.
And in your classroom, can you make a 3D thing like this that your students can walk around on?
No way.
No way. No way. First of all, we don't have classrooms that are this large. Second of all, there are lots of liability issues getting your students to walk high in the air on a platform.
Oops.
So I really like it when you do something with your games that cannot be done in real life. So let's walk over to a few other examples. There's one over here, the pyramid. Okay, we often make games that have a path that students must follow, but the goal is to have them reach some endpoint, and then they are the winner if they get there first. One way to do that is this pyramid that I've created that reinforces different colors, and at the top is a trophy that if you click on it, it gives you a reward. I don't remember what rewards I have in there now. Sometimes they're little trophies, sometimes they're badges that say great job, language whiz. That's something I think that we should include in the games we make, some sort of tangible reward that people can get. And I believe that my avatar is actually wearing one of the buttons. So if you zoom in on me, see if it's still there. Can you see my button? Nope, I think it's off. Okay, not to worry. I'll get and put one on later. Okay, so what we're going to do is, if you have a setup like this, you do not have to keep creating game boards. You just come up with different questions that are asked. So let's say Nuno wants to climb up one level. I would give him a question. If he answers it successfully, he can climb up a level. It could be a question related to vocabulary, grammar, maybe, would you rather live in space or live underwater? And he needs to use correct grammar when he answers. So Nuno, would you rather live in outer space or underwater?
I would rather live in outer space.
And why?
Oh, it's fascinating to live outside of Earth.
Okay, and wouldn't it be fascinating to live underwater?
No, I would drown.
Okay, you would suffocate in outer space. Assuming I would give you the apparatus instead of sending you to your instant death. But okay, he could climb up one. And I'm not going to ask you a bunch of questions now, but I would like you all to climb up to the top and click on the trophy to get an award. We'll see what it has in it. Click.
Oh, it's a scuba gear. Let's see. Blue ribbon. That's just...
So then you should be able to find it in your inventory and wear it. And in my case, these were made for my avatar, so they may go inside your body. Let's hope not. And then I can see if you followed instructions or had difficulties by looking to see if you have a button on you. So I'm seeing buttons, yes. I guess I should put one on, huh? Hopefully without detaching my hair. If you're adding things to what you're wearing, sometimes you will lose your hair. And so instead of choosing wear, I usually click on add, because then it won't remove something you already have on. Could be a shirt, could be pants. Yeah, I'd rather keep those. So there are many other possibilities of what you could do to really make the games that you create 3D. If you've made a board game, try to think of how you could pull it up to make it 3D. Sometimes all you need to do is add real objects to it. Let's say you had made an in-world version of the Game of Life, which is a pathway game, just like Snakes and Ladders and all that. But there are different times when you pick up a baby or a car, so you should make those things where students can click on something and they're now carrying a baby and sitting in a car. Another idea that I've done is to make TV studios. I was trying to res this earlier, but I think I inadvertently deleted it. And in the TV studio, you can then have a game that contestants go down and sit on the chairs, and you have an MC who asks questions. And again, it's much more immersive than just having your students sit there and you ask them questions. They get the feeling of being in a TV studio at a game show being hosted. Rather than res all those things right now, since I've made a machinima that shows them, I will give you the link to the machinima. As many of you have already seen this machinima, I don't think that we need to watch it now, but I think you should have the link, and perhaps before the next time we get together, you can take a look at the machinima if you would like. So I'm going to put the link in chat, and this would be a good time for you to also give people your note card.
Did I do it in SL? I'm not
Oh,
sure.
you may not have. Well, we can wait on the note card then.
Yeah.
Well, we could watch a little bit. Let's see. I'll give you the general link. There's the link, and there's the name of the film. And that takes you to a 22-minute video. Well, you can skip to a certain part of it. So I'll go to the link and tell you where the game part starts. So that's one resource that kind of shows the direction I'm taking with gaming in Second Life. And a question was raised last time about, well, what is a game? Sometimes the things seem more like activities than games. And I'd like to address that question a little bit. Yes, some of the things are borderline just an activity. What makes a game to me is if there's a winner, if there's a time factor. It doesn't take much to turn something into a game. So if I have students going around my home and looking for objects, but they only have X number of minutes to do it, and the students that have found the most in that time period are the winners, then it's a game. Also, games have certainly changed from the board games that I grew up with video gaming. It would be difficult for me to get my son to play a board game. He's all about video games. And video games, yeah, and video games are, a lot of them, I can't see any reason to play with them because it seems like all they do is kill as many people as possible with a lot of blood and gut and gore. But there are games that have a storyline and tasks that have to be accomplished. Tasks? Well, does that mean they're activities, not games? No, because they're headed in a direction and accomplishing tasks along the way, and hopefully doing it in a reasonable time, either to best a previous time or against people in the larger community. In order to do some of the things I like to do, you need to have access to a whole world, and Second Life certainly has that. You can go to Paris, you can go to Italy, you can go to ancient Rome, you can go to outer space. The problem with using things in Second Life is if you want to turn it into something for teaching, you will probably need to add things to the environment. And many places, I'd say most places, do not allow you to add things to their builds. So I decided I would make the jump and go to OpenSim and pick a world and start building my own world. And really picking a world has to do with what your server situation is. I do not have my own server, so I need to pay somebody to be the server for me. And I was anticipating using a lot of memory, so I wanted it to be a pretty well-established place. So I picked Kitely because I had heard about it at some conferences. And it is a good world. In hindsight, I might not have chosen it because Kitely does some of the things that Second Life does, and that I cannot bring some of the things I make there out to OpenSim. But now I'm deeply invested in it, and I guess I'll stick with it. They are certainly very supportive. I had a problem where I made a deserted island, and I was trying to hide it under a bubble so that if you were on the island, you could not see land other than the island. So I made a big bubble, so big that I could not grab it. And so it was burying my island. I complained just in general and saying, oh no, I've ruined everything. I sent it out to a couple of people I had friended. The owner of Kitely came and fixed the problem. And I've had to have them do it many times where I've messed up something and they can come in and fix it. It's smaller like that, so it's more possible for the owner to do that. And that way, it's like Edunation. Here, everybody is very helpful. If you mess up on something, people will help you. And I see that there were some questions in chat. Maybe I should answer just a few of those. Kitely is browser-based, but you can use the same browser you use for Second Life. And you can export OAR items and DAE items. However, if you were not the total creator of it, you cannot export it. So I have found many things by visiting many OpenSim worlds that I can take for free. Unlike in Second Life, you can get an amazing inventory for free. You just walk around in the worlds, you can right-click on things and take a copy. But if you put that in your build is no longer exportable. So recently I saved my entire 16 regions. It took about 10 minutes to do, and it saved 90% of it. 10% of it would not save because they included things that were not my items. So if there were horror of horrors, a super crash, I would have to redo those things. And a lot of places you can build for free. What you really are ever paying for is just the server. So if you have access to a server, there's no reason to join Kitely or to pay anything. But for 16 regions, I pay $34 a month. Which, I don't know, what does a region cost here in Second Life?
360.
It would be very prohibitive for me to have 16 regions. Okay. There are some other games you might look at in the sandbox slideshow presenter I put over there, but we don't need to look at them now. They show examples of more 2D board games, like there's a city map board game, there's a Hunger Games board game, and those are great games, but I look at those games and I go, oh, wait, let me pull them up into 3D. And you will see that I have done that when we go to my world, which is called Edutopia. So at this point, I'm going to explain to you how to get to my world, and we are going to go there. Then when you're there, I'll give you a note card that shows you many links within the world. We will visit a few together, and then I'll let you roam on your own. And your goal, as you look at different things, is to try to figure out what could be done with these environments once you've created it. I have put many bots out, and some of the bots are programmed, and I will put in a lot more bots. But the bots will often say things like, I have a school, there will be a principal in the office, and you'll say, I'm a very busy man. What do you want? Using some of the same scripting skills that Carol taught us when she did her session. So how do we get to Kitely? You are going to have to go to your regular online browser and go to Kitely Worlds. Now, I can give you a link, or you can just type in Kitely Worlds, and you'll need to make an account. It costs nothing to make an account, but that's the only way you can get an avatar to start roaming with. So let's give you the link, or you can go ahead and search. Once you have your avatar, I would suggest you close down Second Life, reopen your viewer, and there's, well, maybe you shouldn't close down Second Life because you might have problems. But it's possible to reopen your viewer, and there is a drop-down menu, and instead of choosing to go to Second Life, you can choose Kitely, you can choose Third Rock, you can choose many different viewers. I'm going to put the instructions for this in the chat in case we lose you along the way. Those are pretty basic avatars, but... Okay, so let's go ahead and...
Do you mean, Nick, you've got a worn avatar, have you? Second hand. We've got new ones. Old friend.
Sure.
Sound is good in Firestorm. The little headphones control everybody's sound.
Yeah,
So
unless they're blowing out. You know, if they're just distorting.
Is this better?
That. Yeah, it's just a little, it sounds a little bit distorted, mildly. Like you're too loud or you're too close.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes. Okay, we are in the center. I'll play with my voice a little bit later. Hopefully it's tolerable. And the first thing I have over here is a school. Let's go ahead and go into the school. Oh, that can be. Maybe my mic is too close. Is that better?
Yeah.
Very much.
Okay, thanks.
I hear the helicopter.
Yeah, we all hear the doctor. The Giovanni.
Okay, I'm kind of opposed to making a regular school in Second Life. I mean, in any virtual world, because the whole big advantage to coming here is we don't have to be in regular classrooms. But sometimes for people, it's nicer to start with what they know. So you could start them in a school and then move out to the larger environment. So our first place, we actually ended up in the school library. By the way, I've made all doors so you can either walk through them, or if you want, you can click on them to open them. Follow me to the library. You can come today without a library pass.
Straight through the door.
Yeah.
I like that. Doors are a nuisance.
It's partially because I haven't had time to go to do all the doors, so I just quickly made them all phantom. Okay, so the role play that the students came up in here was where there was there were 2 librarians, there was a student, there was a parent, there was the principal, there was a reporter, there was a scientist, and it turned out that one of the students went to the cafeteria and put some poison in the food there so that a bunch of people would get sick and they would close the school and everybody, all the students would have a vacation. But they were trying to figure out who was behind it, and there was blame tossed everywhere. And of course, the news reporter was eating it up and then went on a Facebook page and wrote up a newspaper article. Did they get a lot of language practice? Definitely. And Anne did this particular thing with me, and it was the first time that we had mega writing on the website. Everybody had a comment about who was guilty and why they thought so, and giving alibis. And so they actually got a lot of writing practice out of it, and much easier than, say, talking just in general about problems in a school. I think it's really nice to introduce the idea of spinners, and in the next week or the last week, I will give all of you a gift box that has a complete set of spinners, and I think there are about 30 of them. But for the role-playing, I only use 5. Once you introduce a spinner into an activity, it becomes more game-like because I'm not controlling everything. They spin, and that chooses where and when and random objects. And okay, so let's see what else is available in the school. I think, Nick, for example, you might have come here very often across from the library. Oh, yeah, we have a principal's office. Okay, I have not, should be able to walk right through the door, or you can click on it, either way. You could have parent-teacher conferences in here. If you have students who actually are parents, they may talk about problems that they have with their students, and you can give them advice, and they're doing role-playing kind of, but they're getting language practice. Eventually, I will have interactive bots in all the locations, so even if a teacher is not with students, they can come and interact and do things in English. I haven't separated a lot of sound parcels yet. I think each of the different regions is separate, but I have not done more separation than that. And there are many homes that I've put here, and I offer to students and to other people I know, like you, that you can claim a home and put furniture in it, and the price you pay is, if students come in here when you're here, that you're nice to them. They ask you a question. Don't say, shove off, buddy.
Ooh, I want a house.
Engage them in conversation.
Yeah, and I am busy creating furniture stores that have every type of furniture you can need. I just finished making media centers, and so the idea is the more people that are here, the more people will want to come here. You know, one of the big downfalls about Second Life is there aren't so many people there for anybody who just happens to drop in. So they come in thinking that they will be able to practice English, and not so much. So I want to work around that and build a lot of things into the environment, and also encourage people to take up residence. I have 100,000 prim that I can use. And yesterday I maxed it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's like,
I helped her.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of that is because I set out a bunch of, yes, you made Choppy. I'm glad to see you made it. Oh, maybe I need to type that to her. Is she in the room? Give her a message and tell her she's welcome to join us. Okay. I don't remember what I was saying, actually. Okay, so...
You maxed your prims.
Oh, yeah.
You put out
And part of it was because I was laying out all the different types of furniture for medieval worlds and space worlds and modern worlds, and I'm not going to use all that all the time. And so it was eating up tons of prim. Yeah, and I will be able to simplify prim here. For example, as you see the bookcase against the far wall behind Taika?
Yeah.
That's a one prim item. It started out as many more prim. I took a picture of it and then made a box and put the picture on the box. So I will be able to go around and dramatically reduce prim when it's necessary. I didn't worry about it when I had 100,000, but I reached it.
The builder's buddy, so you could actually pack furniture for each building into a builder's buddy like a mini holodeck, and then people could just touch it and res it if they needed that building. That would help.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's something. Also, apparently phantom prims don't count as prims. So there's no reason that bookshelf has to be solid. Nobody's going to walk, the wall is solid. So I could make it phantom, and all of a sudden it's not using prim. And so there are different workarounds. But initially I just built to my heart's content. Let's go see something else in this school. Oops, sorry. So, I don't know, I thought, what are the most important things a school needs? Well, gosh, a cafeteria, of course. Well, follow me to the cafeteria.
Oh, sorry. Crashing through people.
And I tried to include anything I thought would be necessary for different role plays. So I put out a bunch of food trays, which took me hours. I went and photocopied took pictures from Google Images of food trays and imported them one by one and made boxes, stuck them on the boxes. And so this is, I don't know,
I'll have some
30
bread
boxes.
And cheese, I think. Bread and cheese for me.
And, you know, some of the food here is healthy and some of it's not. So I could tell the students, choose what you want, and then I could walk around and say, oh, look what he chose. Is that healthy? No, why or not? What could they take instead? Who has the healthiest food? And it could lead into a discussion, especially when they have trays in front of them. These trays, well, I don't know that they're movable right now, but they will be movable. And a lot of auditoriums have a stage. I might want to have students do a little role playing and put them up on the stage. So there are several places that Nick could do his dance. Here's one of them. Okay, and then there's one other room in this, and we'll go over to it. It's a classroom, which I probably will never use, but I created one. What I do when I create a building is I really create a symbolic version of it. I do not have to have a school that has 30 classrooms. What a waste of prim that would be. I need one functional classroom. If we're going to do a role play in a school, I just need one functional setting for the different places I might go to in that location. So our symbolic school has a library, the reception area, the principal's office, and a classroom. Follow me to the classroom. Yeah. Follow me, I say, and my avatar doesn't move. Okay, the classroom's on the other end of the hallway. Yes, Cyber's already over there. She goes to the head of the class. Now, this building I found somewhere and got for free. It did not have walls. It did not have anything in it. Those things I had to add. And this is certainly a very functional classroom. I see there's a glitch on one of the walls. Well, I'll fix it later. Somehow one of the walls is purple.
I didn't see purple.
Underneath the emoticons.
Oh, I do see purple. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, and there's a window that turned purple. Yeah, I'll fix it eventually. If you come here and you notice things like that are off, let me know and I can come and fix them. Now, this classroom has a lot of things that I might use in a real classroom or in Second Life worlds. It has interactive whiteboards. It has posters that I might use. If you're going to have students doing pair work, there's no reason why they can't use a classroom like this. You're all very good. You sat down. Okay, such good students. In real life, I would have had to ask you. So I'm going to push Carol out.
You succeeded. You don't want me in your classroom, okay. But who else now then? Off on the run. I think we're going the other way, everybody. Follow me.
Come out through the handicapped access door in the classroom. Okay, at this point, this is a small suburban area that has little shops, coffee shops, a small hotel. But I want us to hop to a different area. At this point, I would like us to hop. So open up your note card so you can hop to the area as well.
Well, they all have note cards.
Yeah. And so I thought the next place we'd visit would be the theater. I like my sconces. Aren't they cute? That was really easy to make.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And so here again, yeah, it's not playing anything, but I will have things loaded into. It will be a board that can link to YouTube.
Yeah.
And
it can link now. It's
okay,
already a live media board. Yeah.
And then for Nick, there's a stage. Okay, so what type of things could you do with students in here? And specifically game types of things.
My favourite activity in this sort of place, now maybe not this one, but is definitely the Dragon's Den type of thing, where students are on stage and they have to present something to their dragon. I mean, I just love that one. It's such a fun activity.
Oh, I've never heard of that. So,
the dragons are people with money, and they are prepared to back inventions that are going to make money. So one at a time, students can come on the stage and actually do a pitch for their invention. And then the dragons have to decide whether it's worth it or not. I mean, there's so many recordings of that because it is a proper television program in the UK, so you'd find it. But it's a brilliant exercise to do with students.
Yeah, so you could show videos with the sound down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you got real action-packed with lots of things going on. I have a great bank robbery scene from Three Fugitives. It's hysterical.
Good. So anytime you want to show them a video, take them to a movie theater to show them the video.
Absolutely.
And you could, now that's just an activity, but along the idea of pitches, I want to have students make machinima. And all of the environments I've created here cry out for somebody to make machinimas here. And so they might, the first step, make a pitch.
Yeah.
A movie pitch. And if they get the okay, then they move to the next step. And as much as possible, teachers become facilitators. They're in the background. I give them the task. I would probably start by having them look at some of the posters on the outside of the building and telling me if they wanted to see a movie, which one would they like to see and why, what's their favorite type of movies, what makes a good movie. They would type up the stuff on a note card, and then I would say, so I would show them maybe a few short machinimas of movies students have made and say, so I want you to make a movie. But the first thing is you have to pitch your idea. So go somewhere with your group, come up with an idea, then come back here and pitch your idea. And that they have these steps that they have to compete, and maybe there's an Academy Awards presentation here later. Then it's becoming more game-like. It's also fun to actually show some Academy Award clips here and let them judge which ones get the awards before real Academy Awards happen. You could certainly have some sort of problem occur here that they have to solve. You know, maybe it's flooded outside, so they're asked to not leave the building. How are they going to survive in that situation? How long do they think they can stay here? And
Kremlin.
How long can you survive on candy alone? Which neither
and popcorn.
builds up to taking them to a deserted island and having them survive there. If they would have thought surviving in the theater is hard, wait till they get to the deserted island. All right.
But they could write role plays and things and act them on the stage as well. They could do their own acting here, couldn't they? I mean, it's only a matter of pushing the screen behind the curtain. Right.
And I like the idea of making the whole 16 regions a game. So you give them a bunch of tasks that they must accomplish. And every time they finish one of the tasks, they get a badge or they get something that allows them to do something else. Maybe I'd make them have to complete 5 tasks before they can have a home.
You're a meanie.
Oh, landlords, you know.
So, you know, that way it becomes much more like the video games that they are more familiar with.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, let's take
We actually held on the British Computer Society Island, we actually held a conference in the theatre, a real conference, but that was in the theatre because people could make their presentations, stand on stage and do the whole thing, and the audience obviously could sit in the chairs. So we did a proper 2-day conference in the theatre on the British Computer Society Island. That worked nicely as well.
That could definitely happen here too. I have a convention center. I have hotels.
You can put us all up.
Yeah.
And feed us all.
Okay, let's go to the supermarket. Go into your note card and click to the supermarket.
Do a scavenger hunt, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You could give them a recipe, and the first team to find all the items. Now, at this point, I don't have scripts on, but I'm going to be putting scripts in many of the places that tell them a price and can give them items. And so there are shopping carts that they should be able to put the items in. What I thought of, oops, Heike needs a TP, somebody.
Yeah, Heike, but I cannot.
I've got her.
I cannot.
I've got her. She's here. She's here.
Good.
The thing I thought of most immediately was there was a TV show in the United States when I was young about a race in a grocery store.
Yeah.
You had X amount of time to try to put as many things in your cart, as many expensive things as possible. And whoever got the highest price cost on the items in their cart was the winner. So people raced like mad and bang into each other and trying to find things and put them into their
Head
carts.
straight for the meat, you know.
Right, right. Of course, I had a little bit of fun when I made this. All the women may join me looking at a poster near the bathrooms. Men may not like to, but we'll see. Follow me over here. Correct accent. The correct accent is the one that gets you understood. And students need to be tolerant of many different ways that people produce English and all work toward being understandable with any kind of speaker of English.
I always used to say to mine, if you say 2 words to me, 2 keywords, I'll try and guess the rest.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It's just much more important to actually say what you want than for the grammar or anything to be perfect. And very often, even when you're walking around in London or whatever, a couple of keywords, you can actually guess what people want. And you can point them in the right direction or whatever. But if they don't say anything, you can't help them at all, can you?
Yeah, teachers need to be very gracious about mistakes that are made and find gentle ways, like simply repeating something correctly, not asking them to say it again, just letting them hear the correct version, or realize that if they're immersed in doing a lot of activities, as a native speaker learns and improves their language, they too will improve.
Yep, pick it up. Mm-hmm.
All right, there are many other places to visit, and for many of these worlds or different locations here that are on your note card, I have already developed, I or Anne have developed intensive scenarios, 40 hours worth of lessons for many of the different locations.
Can I have the chocolate cake, please? I've just seen the cake store. Wow.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
And so there's many possibilities. Before I hand you all that on a silver platter, I'd rather you take time to go around and look at different places and come up for our Sunday meeting with one place that you visited that you could see creating a game-like activity that immerses the students in using language.
Yeah, brilliant.
Good idea.
So you have a homework assignment. And then once you do that, we'll talk about all the ideas, and I'll share with you, Anne and I will share many of the ideas that we've come up with. But I thought it was useful first to let you visit a few places and go through the thought process. Oh, a grocery store? Duh, what can I do with that? Oh, well, you could have a race.
Maybe I can share now card, another card, that's the one you wanted me to share.
Oh, good. That would be good. Salami robbery. Yeah,
Please
that would
don't
work.
watch it now because it will take too long. But this is for homework.
I may shoot some
Hopefully
machinima over here.
Absolutely.
Be brilliant if we can, if you don't mind.
No, please. You have total permission to do that. And Anne has already set up a residence here. I've set up a residence. Jens is supposedly setting one up. He's got stuff outside. He did?
I'd like to try. I'd like to try because I want to build something.
Well,
Yeah?
you want to visit? Yeah.
We could, maybe we should visit Anne's house, and then we'll go to the castle to have a debriefing, and then you can come during the week and explore the many other places there are to explore. Realize that this is still a work in progress. It takes an incredible amount of time to build these things. But it's worth it in the end if they get a lot of use. And so it's not enough just to build. Second Life has tons of places that are beautifully built, but people have not gone to the next level and figured out how can I really involve students, immerse them in a situation where they have to use language. And it's more game-like than our normal teaching.
Can we visit Anne's place? I'd love to visit Anne's place.
Okay, go into your note card and go to Anne's house.
Anne's Manor. It's
Anne's
almost at the
Manor.
end. Yeah, you will see why. So I'm going to stay here until everybody goes there. If you go right at the end, and it's about from the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th landmark. So please just click on it and go there.
There was quite a learning curve to it.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that is very valuable language practice for the students. So go ahead, go inside, take a look
Go
around.
in. Go in. Just have a look.
Oh, very pretty.
Thank you.
Nice.
You might have to fly up there. We're going to have to correct this a little bit here.
Ooh, it's
I didn't think of it.
luxurious.
Isn't it just? Wow, I'd like to live in this in real life.
Yeah, I wish
I
I
might have to come in here and hang out.
Well,
Jens's place is right
we
next
can
door.
We can drink.
Oh, how fun! Okay. I love this tea drinking room. It's gorgeous.
And a
I want to
pool
build my own.
Oh, and a bar.
Oh, and a pool table.
There are 3
Very
floors.
good. Oh my.
3 floors. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I told her she could pick any of the houses, and she picked this one. I was like, good, because that one's going to be a lot of work. And she did a beautiful job with it.
That's so great.
Go everywhere. Just
Certainly
visit
is.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going in every nook and
gorgeous.
cranny. I love the library
Beautiful.
room.
I love the music room. Wow. I've got a music room in a house. Oh, yes.
Everything you ever
Oh,
dreamed. Oh, that bedroom. Oh, I love that canopy.
Fabulous.
Ooh.
Fabulous.
Okay. Now, it's
Nice
nice of you
roomy.
to admire her house, but also you should always be saying, what can I do with this, with students? This
I think
is
I'll
a
turn
type of
this
house
into
where
a
you
luxury
certainly-
hotel.
That could
Well,
be.
can I
She
share?
could have house guests with problems. There could be a mystery.
Can I share? Well, I'm gonna share
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
machinima later on. No, well,
Okay.
I have to look for the. Have you?
She's
got
made a
the
machine
email?
about.
Yeah.
Oh.
To show what you can do with it. Let me just
Oh,
find it.
good.
Just have a look at everything while I find it, please.
Okay,
Oh,
this
I like
is
the
a
couch.
small percentage of the items that I have in my inventory that I can give to anybody who wants to populate.
Except you got no prims
Dwelling.
left. You got no
Yeah, but
prims
yeah,
left. You can't use any more.
I'll fix that. Don't worry about it.
Fabulous. I love the
I
shower,
love that bedroom.
the loo, the bath. Very luxurious. I think I'd do the crazy hotel stuff in here. It's big enough
Yeah,
to do a
that
hotel.
would be fun.
At first you only
Problem
had one
hotel.
bedroom, but now there are 3. But
You see, you could do the crazy hotel because you've got the music room,
Yeah.
the bar, and your couple of bedrooms, and you could soon make a dining room somewhere if there is. If there isn't one, I bet there is one.
there
on
is
the
a
spot.
dining
There
room.
is one.
Yeah.
I mean, kindly, yeah, from what I see in the terms of service,
Yeah, and this is, right now it's open to everybody who wants to come in can come in. Probably change that, and it'll be by group or invitation only. I don't want it to turn into the sex fest that Second Life sometimes is. I very carefully made sure that any furniture I got that had naughty behavior in, I removed them, and I've created my own set of poses for them. And so, oops, Inspira wants to be teleported. Could somebody who's friended her teleport her? That's Cyber. She's here as Inspira.
As Inspira?
I don't know.
I think they're two different people.
No.
Oh.
Friends with her here.
Well, maybe I can do it.
If you right-click on her name, you can teleport her. If you right-click on her name, if she's contacted you.
Okay, there, I see it. I'll get her.
Here is the machinima I made for the house.
This is great, Anne.
Thank
Looks
you.
lovely, yeah.
I spent lots of hours here. Well, not that I forgot the time when I was here.
I bet.
Yeah,
Yes.
there were many nights she was up really late, and she'd come in then because we were in different time zones, and I'd be in here really late. I go, shh, don't tell my husband. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, me too. 3 o'clock in the morning. I spent lots
Yep.
of nights here.
It's easy to do that. It is.
I thought it was interesting that she said it's kind of like having the ultimate dollhouse.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And look at my picture with the horse, shall we not? Because Barbara made it. I hung it over there in the landing when you just come up. You will see my picture there.
Oh, is that picture? I didn't look at it that closely.
You took 2 pictures.
There is Anne wearing a horse. I just thought it was a picture of a horse.
Okay, where is it?
Bottom.
Where is it?
Well,
it's
you took one
fabulous.
with naked
At the
breasts,
top
so
of
I
the
thought that was not
stairs
too bad.
between the first and second floor. I'm standing near it.
That's fabulous. I love it.
Name.
It does. Oh, I love it. Oh, fabulous.
How funny.
Well,
Don't notice the naked bottom until you get rid of those.
well, the one Hazel took was much worse because oh my
Oh, I
goodness.
love it. Fabulous that is.
I was sitting there in a conference with my breast.
Oh.
Well, interesting. I hadn't seen your frame. It looks nice.
Oh, great. Sorry.
Okay, we have used up our time, but I thought we would go to one of the
Jens'
castles.
house.
No, not now. Do you really do anything to it or not?
He won't let me go in and, put furniture and anything. He forbade me to go into his house. And I'm very tempted because he's not here now. When he comes back from the Caribbean, imagine his house has got this nice furniture and kitchen.
He will not like it. We have to resist the temptation. Fortunately, there's a lot of other things you can do here.
Okay.
Okay, so go to the Coastal Castle on your note card, and we'll just make some concluding remarks and then let you do whatever you wish. And that was, although it came in thousands of pieces that I had to fit together, it was something that I got completely for free.
Yes, Alice, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a lot of these bits in Second
I don't know
Life.
if it's a she or a he, but I think it's a she. Wonderful, wonderful stuff she does, and she gives
Loads
away
of it
so
in
liberally.
Second Life, yeah. I know, it's amazing. I've got
There's
most of this in
caves,
SL.
hidden treasure and skeletons and dungeons in some of the places. And
Hemorrhoidal ointment. Oh, fabulous.
Okay. So, in conclusion for today, actually I went up in the sky. I don't know if you can hear me.
No, we hear you.
Okay.
I hear you.
We hear you.
Okay. In conclusion for today, just think in terms of an expansion of what is a game, your idea of what is a game, and make sure that you really have fun looking around at these places, and then really focus on one and think out what you could do with a place like that. If you don't go through that mental process, the chances of you doing things like this in the future are much smaller. But of course this place exists, but eventually this is only 16 regions. Hey, I think I'm going to need more.
We're going to need a bigger vote.
Yes, you are.
But I actually want to do some grant writing and try to get the government to fund setting up community centers in third world countries that have computers capable of accessing this, and then that being a type of foreign aid, and they can come here and learn English, and it's one of the contracts I'm going after.
Perfect.
And if they do that, then I will have enough money to get another 16 regions and put their houses.
Yep.
Yay, why not? It's fabulous, Barbara. It really is.
So sorry I haven't been around in Second Life so much lately. I've been a bit busy.
I wonder what you've been up to.
You certainly have. That was much enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for a wonderful tour.
You're very welcome.
Impressive. Now, Barbara, get busy.
It's just fabulous.
Get busy and open this place.
I think she already is busy.
It's a very big castle. It seems like it's on its own island over there.
Yeah,
Wow.
that one's surrounded by a moat that opens to the ocean.
All it's got is a pile of books. It's only got a pile of books in it at the moment.
Yeah, that's the castle I'm doing now.
What happened to the stuff you had in it? It had a lot more than a pile of books.
No, I cleared some things outside. I think Carol is looking at things outside. I cleared lots of things, and yeah, I have not moved everything in the castle. I didn't have time to go in today, but I'm going tomorrow. I'll finish it tomorrow.
Bye-bye, Nick.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Nick.
Bye.
Bye.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Have we got to wash all the dishes now, have we?
Everything. Everything is lovely.
You also might think of things as you go around that you think would be nice to have in a world like this, and with all my spare time, I might build it.
Okay. Okay. I love all the bots. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to do that.
I have a script for making bots, so I could put a box next to you. If you touch the box, it will make a clone of you.
Wow.
Ah, that's what Nick was going to show me. So you've got it, have you already? Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't have a full perm copy, which is a little bit of a problem. But I'll probably, I got it from James, and I just haven't seen him recently.
Would it work?
Happy to give you the script.
I was going to say, I know it's available somewhere, the script on...
Yeah, I don't know if the box
on one of the
actually has the
websites.
script or it's locked.
We were talking about making a script repository. Or a database of scripts.
That's a good
There
idea.
are already
Actually.
quite a few that are out there.
There are already script libraries, aren't there, that you can...
Yeah, I certainly borrowed a lot from libraries.
Yeah, I was going to say, that little Reset Root script I used last week in the game, that was just from the Second Life library.
I think that this wizard avatar looks a little bit like she's related to Hazel.
Oh.
Very much so. Very much so. You're right. Absolutely. I can agree with that.
Okay, because
This was you in the past, Hazel.
Yeah, yeah.
You were a wizard.
Wizard. I don't see... Oh, right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I see. I'm getting a bit confused now by who's a bot and who isn't.
I know.
Welcome, Abdullah. That's marvellous.
Oh, just as we finished.
You're welcome.
But now you can look around in the world.
Who's Prof Azure in Second
That's
Life
Elena.
then? Elena, okay.
Oh, that's me, of course.
Oh, now we're going to have to learn all over again.
Well, I have the same name.
Quiet? Oh, sorry.
We haven't been quiet.
I think you just had sound switched off.
Yeah, very noisy session.
Fabulous, I love it.
This is fun. Who knew that OpenSim could be this fun and this pretty?
Well, when you first come, it's tough because you have zero inventory.
Yeah.
But because I've already come and acquired inventory, I have hordes of things I can give you.
Oh, great. Well, could I build the house like just build the 4 walls and everything?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, cool. I'm going to do that because I want to build here first. That's the first thing I like to do in a place. Give me some experience.
And if you don't feel like building a house and you still want to build, I have plenty of tasks that need to be.
Oh, okay. Tell me what you want to build. I'm just into putting prims together right now.
One of the things that Anne is going to do is underneath the deserted island, I put sharks in the water, but she's going to make Atlantis underneath there because the whole island, I dropped the land down to as low as I could, so it's all water, and then I used prims to create on top of the water an island.
Why didn't you just raise the land?
That's my next stop.
No. Because, one, I wanted to have an underwater world without having to lose that much of my surface.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And second, it was really hard to get the mountains to form the way I wanted to.
Oh,
so it was easier to make the shape and put it there.
Okay.
Good night, Helena.
Good night, Helena.
Good night, Helena. See you soon.
Night, Helena.
Bye-bye and thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Wonderful, fantastic. It's like magic. I'll be dreaming tonight. Bye-bye.
I will
Thank
agree
you.
with that. I'm going to say goodbye as well. So night all.
Bye-bye. Night.
Bye-bye.
Yes, I think I will as well. Thanks ever so much, Barbara. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow.
So
and have
impressed.
another
You're
look.
so creative. Yeah, I'm definitely coming back too. So okay, well, just let me know where I could put my little patch, and I'll start building.
Okay. Well, near the airport, you'll see a big open area that has nothing on it. So,
Okay.
Ooh,
As long as I'm not in anybody's way.
as well.
yes, you
Oh, Carol, you could be my neighbor.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have wonderful empty houses. I'm going to come up with a system, like maybe put a mailbox out, and if there's a red flag up, that means somebody has already claimed it. So you have to choose a different house.
Okay.
But at this point, it's pretty clear. If you go and a place is furnished,
Yeah.
It belongs to somebody. Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, I'll come in tomorrow and stake my claim, like the Wild West.
And just because it's furnished and somebody technically has it, doesn't mean that you can't use it.
Well, I want just a piece of land, because I want to build something.
Do anything,
I'm just gonna.
okay? Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you, Barbara. You take care now, and I'll send you some clips of what I took today.
Okay, great.
You had some very usable stuff that you could put in your collection.
Okay, great.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
See you all soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks ever so much. Bye-bye.